So you can't reach John and his family when he's having dinner. The President of the United States couldn't get through. Be more alert to the things that might be stealing your time. Here's why. Time is like capital. You can't let someone steal your seed corn. You can't let someone steal your capital. And you can't let someone steal your time. Let all communication systems serve you, but don't let them intrude. When it comes time to have dinner with your family, you shut off all systems, unless the ones that can take messages silently. When you work, work. When you play, play. Don't mix the two. At the beach, be at the beach. At the office, be at the office. When you work, work. When you play, play. Don't mix the two. Don't play at work. Work is too serious. Your work costs you a piece of your life. Here's what it's called. Serious business. Not grim, not unhappy, but serious. Analyze how you are. And if you have some weaknesses, doesn't seem like you can change, here's the key. Get it covered. Now here's a big one, concentration. All those years ago, I'm in the shower trying to compose a letter. Found it turns out to be a strange letter. Save the work till you get to the office. Save the work till you get to the work. On the way to work, enjoy the way. In the shower, enjoy the shower. Then go to work when you get to work. Learn to say no. I'm telling you, in such a social society we have now, it's so easy to try to be a nice person saying yes, yes, yes to everything. Don't let your mouth overload your back. Either you run the project or it runs you. I found out when you start something, at first you're in charge. All of a sudden, a year later, it's in charge. Some of the companies I started, I'm telling you, I'm in control. A couple of years later, I'm out of control. At first, I've got it on the run. 2 years later, it's got me on the run. Haven't got enough time. I'm dizzy with trying to get it all done. So here's part of the key, and that's to get in charge. Say, I'm going to take charge of my health. It's not a requirement of society that you not have a heart attack to take care of your family. That's not a requirement of society, but you must make it a requirement of yourself. Society doesn't require that you build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. It's a requirement you impose on yourself. So impose on yourself this self-development of being in charge, taking charge of your life and your health and your future and your responsibilities and all the rest. The time management. And that's work longer and harder. But see, there's a limit to that. I almost lost my health the first year. I went so crazy about personal development and achievement. I just went bonkers. You know, I told you I was skinny. By the end of that first year, I was a walking shadow. And then it suddenly occurred to me, what if I got rich and too ill to spend it? I mean, that was a shocker, because I said if 12 hours won't do it, I'll work 14. If that won't do it, I'll work 18. I mean, how many hours it takes. And sure enough, it cost me too much. So see, working longer and harder for some might be appropriate. Here's the key, not to work harder, but smarter. When you've worked as hard as you can, doing the best you can in terms of physical output in the reasonable time. Reasonable time is enough time to achieve all of your goals. Here's why. It's not the hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours. A written set of goals. And then do priorities on your goals. What's important this week? What's important this month? Here's the next one. Often review. Just go over your goals to make sure that your list is working for you. It's got you inspired. It's got you turned on. Learn to study what we call majors and minors. Here's what you must say when you pick up the phone. Is this a major conversation or a minor conversation? If it's minor, a few pleasantries and you're done. If it's major, maybe you've got to make a few notes. Important conversations, make an agenda before you make the call. Just jot down a little agenda. It's so easy now to just talk out of your head. Don't major in minor things. If you take up major time to do minor things, you'll be behind the curve constantly. Here's minor time, making lists of prospects, keeping books on prospects, going to see the prospect, evaluating the prospect after you've been there. Here's major time, in the presence of the prospect. Because the time that really counts is in the presence of. Don't mistake movement for achievement. It's easy to get faked out by being busy. Don't mistake courtesy for consent. If somebody's pleasant and they nod, you say, oh, they're going to buy. No, they're courteous. You can't mistake courtesy for consent. You must designate your time. And some of the time that you designate, you must not let anyone steal. Learn to ask questions up front. Sometimes you talk to somebody for an hour, and then you ask questions and find out if you would have asked those questions up front, you could have saved yourself an hour. Learn to think on paper. Solving problems. Take it out of your head and put it on paper.